Hi, I'm Patty.
I'm Kim Michelle.
And I'm Jill. Welcome to our podcast. It's a great day to talk.
Because honestly, what day isn't a great day to talk?
So join us in our conversation.
A Great Day to Talk is brought to you by St. George Design, offering complete website design, social media management, search engine optimization, Google and Facebook ad management, and many other digital and print marketing services. stgeorgedesign.com. And by Richardson Brothers Custom Homes, third-generation builders who have been building custom homes in southern Utah for over 25 years. They will take your dream home from concept to completion. Contact richardsonbrothers.com. The April Gates Group and Zion Canyon Real Estate have been specializing in helping southern Utah clients buy and sell property for over 18 years. We can help you too. Call or text April today. 435-632-8869. 435-632-8869.
And welcome to A Great Day to Talk. We are so happy to be with you tonight and especially on this evening. I am so happy about tonight's show.
Because I'm back.
Yes.
Yeah, we're all back.
Yeah, we're, but especially because Jill is back. Now, we might only be happy for about 5 minutes or so, but we'll be especially happy. No, we're always happy that Miss Jill is back. She's had a little bit of surgery on her shoulder, and we're happy to know you are recovering well. Yes.
Hi, my friends.
Recovery is recovery. You gotta let it take its time.
Yep.
One day at a time.
One day at a time with this surgery for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But we are so happy to have you back, Miss Jill. We have missed you so much.
Missed you so
and
much.
I know that our audience has missed you so much because Patty and I have tried to feel the melodic tone.
Oh, the melodic tone.
And that just has not happened as well. So we're so happy to have you. See, listen to that already. Yeah, exactly. Patty, I can't hear you very well, so there's our tech right there, Sean, making sure that we can hear Miss Patty, because who doesn't want to hear Miss Patty? Nope, still can't hear her. Nope, still
It's
not.
okay.
So.
I don't really have anything to
There she is. Yeah.
There she
Somebody
is.
was messing with my buttons.
Yeah. Somebody. Well, what a coincidence. Jill is back, and all of a sudden, somebody is messing with Sean's buttons.
He is a button pusher.
There you go.
Right.
That's
Just
all I'm
ask.
saying.
Ask anyone in my life.
Yep, that's exactly right. And we have Miss April Gates back with us, who's
Yes,
been on a couple of our shows before.
She's our regular. It's like it's like Regis and Kathy when Regis's wife came on.
Well, and think about when, Saturday Night Live has their returning host. She's a 5-timer.
Oh,
yes. She's going to get
robe.
a coat. She's getting a coat.
It's a smoking jacket.
That's
Yeah,
right. A
it's
smoking jacket without the smoking here.
Right.
Well, it could be smoking, the jacket itself.
Yes.
Smoke rising from it.
With hot stuff.
Yeah, pretty soon. Or one of us could be leaving pretty quickly. Yeah, listen to
like
that
Jill.
quiet pregnant pause that just
Suddenly,
happened right there.
Jill stopped singing.
So, thank you for joining us. I know it took us a minute to get on, so I appreciate that, but we have some additional things we wanted to set up here to make sure that we're really ready to go and have everything in place to set up really what I think is probably one of the most powerful podcasts we'll have all year. And or since we started, which is over a year. So congratulations, ladies.
Yeah, what number is it? What number is this?
48.
No, I think it's 49.
49.
Yeah, so congratulations with that, ladies. I love you so much. I can't even imagine my life without you and your support and where you've always been. And I think that support that I have in my life, every single person deserves in their life. And that's why this podcast is so important to me. And so I asked if I could lead off tonight. So I hope I can keep this all in check, but I cannot promise that. I'm just going to say that right from the beginning, because April tonight is going to be talking about what I believe is the heart of all of us, which is to show up in the world as our highest self, our best, truest, authentic self, and to step into that place, which is not always easy, but is the truest part of who we are. And there may be the rest of the world that would say, yeah, but are you doing that for them, or are you doing that for you? Are you doing that because you get your own glory, or because you're doing it really to be of service? And my response would be, what the frick? What?
Yeah.
What? Shut up unless you're showing up in a bigger way. And I don't mean that to be harsh. I don't mean that to be unloving. I don't mean that to sound like there isn't compassion there. But if you're in the place of, yeah, but, then I'm going to turn the yeah, but back on you. Because if someone is showing up in a space that you're not showing up in, then yeah, but for them, where are you showing up in that space? So I just feel honored to be in your space.
Oh, stop.
No, I really, really feel that. And I hope you hear that from me.
You are so, now you're going to make me cry. You're
Well,
going to cry, and I'm going to cry. We're all crying.
We're all going to be crying because
I'm not going to cry.
I have Patty, that is my goal. Patty's going to cry before this is over, or I am not complete, and we will stay on here till midnight.
It'll be
if
like a
that's
marathon.
what it
Sorry,
takes.
Sean.
Because there is a place that you get to show up in the world in your truest, highest, most authentic place, which is just about service and contribution. And it doesn't mean you don't gain something from that. That's win-win. That's okay.
It doesn't mean you can do things that aren't of service and still be okay too.
Right, it's win-win.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
And just because someone is serving this situation doesn't mean this one doesn't get
it's
attention
not
as
a
well.
1-4.
Because I'm kind of sick of the, if we put our
Comparison.
attention here, then
What's going on over
what's
here?
going on over
Why aren't we
here?
doing
Why
this?
are we
Or
doing
why aren't we
this?
doing that? Right.
And there's always that right now.
There is always
forever,
that.
It's-
from
Yeah.
time ad nauseum.
But when you look at the world out around us, and if you look at what's going on in Ukraine right now, and if you can't see the humanitarian crisis that's going on in there right now, regardless of your politics,
Right.
and regardless of your policy positions, I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about, can you set that aside and say,
There are people
can
in
you
need.
look at the humanitarian, heart-to-heart humanitarian crisis that is going on there and say, there are humans in a life experience that are traumatized by what's going on there, and I am part of their shared human experience. And part of me aches for them. And as a shared human experience, how can I then support them from where I am with what I have?
Right.
And I'm not in a position right now to go to the Ukraine or to go to Poland. But can I support someone who is? And I know that I worked for a company that I was blessed to work for that did a lot of work in Mexico. And we would cross the border and we would raise money and we would cross the border and we would build houses there. Nice. And it was so amazing. And then we crossed the border once and armed militia got on our buses. And we knew in that moment that was not a safe experience for us to create for our students that were on that bus. So we had a choice. We could say, okay, we're not going to do this anymore. Even though we know there are people on that side of the border, our brothers and sisters in our shared human experience that are in crisis and need on that side of the border. It's not safe for us. So find another solution because we can't go there. It's not safe for us. Or we could say, all right, it's not safe for us to continue to do what we have been doing, but what could we still do that could be of service to our brothers and sisters on the other side of the border? So we started constructing homes on this side of the border and transporting those prefabbed homes onto the other side of the border because that's what we could do.
Right.
April is here because she's created an opportunity to be able to do that very same kind of thing. And I'm so honored to have you here and so impassioned to be a part of this process. And I am so committed to double what you have already created in terms of contributions for your trip over to Poland to support those in Ukraine. Brothers and sisters on the other side of the world, they are our brothers and sisters on the other side of the world in need of our support. And so I'm going to shut up now as best I can. No, I'm not promising that, but I'm going to try the best I can. But
what she's trying to say is we're going to turn the time over to April, but also
as best I can.
We're going to show an image of a Venmo account that you can donate to. That money specifically will get to the Ukraine people in need.
100% of what you donate. And please put on there, I have a specific goal. That's it. So please put in there podcast or a great day to talk.
So we can
because I'm going to have to make up the difference. And boy, I'm sorry, Scott Pullen, you did not know that. But I am so committed to this. So put in there in terms of your donation, but I can guarantee you, absolutely, I'm asking you to trust me. My friends and family out there, you know what that means. I'm asking you to trust me. 100% of what you commit will go to those friends and family that we don't know that are on the other side of the border who are going to receive the benefits of that donation. Okay, April.
Okay, so thank you. That was a beautiful introduction. And my name is April Gates, and this opportunity came to me through a client of mine. And I am going to Poland on May 24th with a group of 6 people. 7 would be the client that has already left. He left yesterday to go ahead of us and make sure that everything is set up for when we get there. But what happened was he's a young guy who did 3 tours of duty in the military, and he went to Afghanistan and Iraq and has kind of become, I would say, kind of an adrenaline junkie and really a good helper guy, a guy who wants to help. And so he had a friend with family in Kiev, which is the capital of Ukraine, and they weren't safe. And they had no means to get out, to get to safety. So his friend wanted to go to Ukraine and try to help his family and take money to them. It was hard to get money to them. And the Airbnb app actually ended up being how they got money to him. It was a long story, but they had no way to get money to them. They had no way to help them. And he said, let's just go. So those 2 went over and they flew into Warsaw, and then they crossed dangerously over into Ukraine, and they rented cars and they got down into Kiev, and they were able to help his family get to safety, out of Kiev and into safety. And then as they were coming back to Warsaw, they wanted to take people with them. There were people lined up at the train station trying to get out. And the train station has only so many spaces and so much that you can take on as far as luggage. And if you have too many kids and too much luggage or whatever your situation was, they had room in this big van that they had, but no one would get in with them.
Really?
Because they were 2 Americans then.
I imagine they had some trust issues.
Yes.
Scary.
Yeah. And they were trying to give money. They had taken money and they had tried to give this family money, and the man put his wife and daughters behind him. And he came home super frustrated. They did do a lot of, they were able to do a lot of runs with with supplies, but he's like, no one would come with us. And he said, I just felt like if I had a woman with me, that people would trust us. And he came home and he said, I want to go back, but I feel like I need to take a woman with me or women with me so that they'll trust us. And I said, well, I'll go with you. And he's like, you would? I'm like, yeah, when do you want to go back? Let's go. We can go back. I'll go back with you.
April, I just,
and what a wonderful time in my life to be like, I have a job
in
that
a position that allows that.
I can go. What's Poland? What's a trip to Poland, right? Everyone wants to go to Poland. And this was what I was really impressed with is Poland just went through this. Poland was full of refugee people not too long ago, and they remember, and they have opened up their borders. And
they have been
let these people in.
gracious and
so amazing,
compassionate.
And they're running those trains, and they are supplying those people when they get off with what they can. But they're getting tired, and they're running out of money, and they're running out of supplies themselves. So when we come in with the dollar is 35 cents to Polish money. So everything that $1 will buy here, you can buy 3 of in Poland. So we're trying to take as much money as we can and then buy the supplies in Poland because you can get 3 times as much.
Wow.
And then plus it's hard to get anything, obviously.
Plus that helps Poland.
And it helps
Right.
Poland
Seriously,
and
yeah.
keeps their
Right.
economy
It's just
going.
Right.
Just a
who has
circular
stepped
effect.
up and been so
So
amazing.
amazing. Yeah.
So amazing. Even knowing that there are repercussions that they may pay because they stood up and supported Ukraine
Absolutely.
in this process.
And I remember, don't you guys remember reading about the Holocaust and thinking, God, if I was alive, I would have. I hope
Well,
I would have. I hope I
Right.
would
I
have.
would have.
You
Yeah.
think.
Which is the answer to those who are like, why should I?
Yeah. Because if you don't, who will?
Right.
Yeah.
And I felt really bad when our own border was having a crisis. Like, I have a house that has
Still
extra
is.
bedrooms. I have, like, why can't...
And still is.
Yeah. And I try not to watch the news a ton.
Right,
I
right,
really
right.
get bogged down with news
Right.
and the skewed
Agreed.
spectrum.
Right.
But obviously we know there's a war. And who would have thought that in this day and age, a country would have thought they could just go take over another country and that everyone would just sit
Yeah.
back and
Yeah.
let it happen?
And who in this day and age would think that the men our age and our sons who are in their 20s and coming into 20 and early 30s would not be able to leave their country because they'd just been conscripted to fight?
Like
With their
you're-
wives
you're
and
ta-
their
you're talking
children.
about the men in
In
Ukraine.
Ukraine.
Yeah.
So the men
how
in
would
Ukraine
we-
can't leave.
No, and how would any of us? I mean, that's the thing I was telling my husband is that, you know, it just you have to like process and put together the fact that these are people our generation.
And just like us,
And
their
just
economy
like
was
us.
thriving. They have
Yeah.
beautiful
And
cities.
so beautiful.
Yeah.
The cities
Yep.
are so beautiful and so, in fact, valuing art and history even
Yeah.
more so than a lot of our cities,
Oh, yeah.
actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, beautiful, beautiful cities. Ukraine is, and it's one of the biggest wheat producers in
Oh,
the
yeah,
world.
right,
And like they have farms and they are just like us. And to have someone come in and just start bombing and killing and indiscriminately, it's just awful.
Yeah,
It's
men
just
leaving their
awful.
jobs.
They have, and
They leave their families. They leave their jobs. They
and the
have to
wife
go.
and kids have to leave for safety, and then they're left behind and don't know what. I mean, the trauma alone,
Right.
and then these women who were like us, they had
Professionals.
professional women are now on a train with one suitcase and their kids, and
Yep.
yeah, I just can't even imagine. And they don't want to be refugees. They don't want to need anything. They don't want
Right.
to be in that position. So,
I
Anyway.
saw a picture on the Polish side with just strollers.
Yeah,
Oh, it was
them
beautiful.
riding
Stroller
Beautiful.
after stroller after
the
stroller
And-
on the receiving
Yep.
end
Yep.
For when
for
they arrive.
refugees arriving.
because they couldn't
With their
take them
children.
on the trains, there
That's
wasn't
right.
room for
There's
them.
no room.
And they knew that all these mothers would be carrying.
That's
babies.
right,
babies.
carrying their babies.
And I don't know which organization put it together, but each stroller had a bag,
care pack.
a
yeah,
care
Yep.
package.
it's so
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
It as
Oh, I
as
just got
difficult as the rhetoric can be. There's such beautiful moments of humanity shining through all of this, and you are one of those. Whether I know you may not see that. And regardless of what the rest of the rhetoric may be, I don't care. If you're not going, then you get to kind of be quiet about that.
Well, I'm lucky. I know I'm lucky to be able to have said yes, and it comes with being 53, and all my kids are out of the house, and there's a time in everyone's life to serve where they are,
Right.
and that's the bigger message, is that you don't have to go to Poland. You can serve right where you are.
Right. You can serve by making a contribution because maybe you can't go. No, I mean that.
I meant in their life. But
Okay,
yes, you can
but
also
that's
Venmo
true.
me.
But here's an
I can't-
opportunity. Here's
I
an
can't
opportunity.
go right now. You know, Scott and I have both been sick.
Yeah, you're
We-
in the middle. You're at the end of the school year.
That's right.
Yeah.
We
Right.
cannot go, but we still want to be a part of this experience.
Right.
So what we can do is we can contribute to those who can go.
That's
Right.
amazing.
Yeah, and be a part of that.
I just need to add one more thing. And for those that hear the word refugee, and this is something that has always been part of, like, in the back of my mind, when I hear the word refugee, I think of not the type of people that are refugees right now. Right now, the refugees are us. We've talked about that. These
Professionals,
these
educated.
are everybody. This is everybody. This isn't. I mean, it is us. It is us. It is us.
And truly, a refugee is someone who's seeking refuge.
Who's
Yeah.
been
And that's
dislocated
dislocation.
from
Yep.
Which
their
doesn't matter
life.
what type of person.
Right.
You know,
It's
that kind of
sad.
bothers me.
It's sad no matter the
that
case.
what Jill was alluding to, I think, is that you have an image of a refugee.
Yeah, and
That you're like,
you can separate.
oh, that's
That's
a
too
different
bad.
type
That's-
of refugee
Right.
because of that.
Yeah.
Where this isn't.
No.
Yeah, if
that's
they meet
exactly
my
right.
specific
Every refugee needs help.
Yeah,
categories.
if they meet my specific definitions
If they're- but
or
do you
my
know that-
criteria, then that I
Yeah.
can sympathize with.
well, and really
then
think
maybe.
about
But that's an actual psychological concept.
It
Yeah.
definitely is, but here's what I would say to you. What is going on, I believe, in Ukraine should be redefining
for all of
the
us.
whole concept for all of us around how we have defined that previously.
Yeah.
Right.
Because this is a human
Human.
crisis.
That's right.
And if you are human, you are part of this crisis.
That's right. And we've seen it happen before. Africa has historically had refugees. The wonderful thing about Poland is they've created a safe space for people to go and help. So it's not like we could have flown into Ghana to help refugees there because there was really no safe place to stay.
I couldn't have flown into Germany back in the day.
Right.
No.
To,
Right.
to
Right.
help. No.
Right.
any of
Right.
those
So we
things.
have to really give it up for Poland. It's
And
for-
you have other countries. I mean, you have Finland, who is, say, neutral forever.
Yeah, right.
And is now asking
be
for
part of NATO.
NATO and NATO protection because they, even in their neutrality forever, have said, we cannot stand by in this crisis
and, watch
and
this
stay
happen.
neutral.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, I think it is beyond what we have been able to see and recognize. Part of that is social media makes it so
Accessible.
relevant
Right.
every single solitary day.
Right.
Yeah.
We need to be careful too because China's watching how the world is going to handle this whole thing.
For
because-
sure.
Because they're going to treat Taiwan and Hong Kong
The same.
similarly. Like
Yeah.
if we let it happen,
And
there's no
North
recourse.
Korea and
North
uh-huh.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
it's a turning point for the world really to see what the rest of the world will do. But in the end, these are women and children. There are refugee camps set up all along the border of Ukraine and Poland. And when we go drop off supplies, our goal is to fill up. We have a 9-passenger van and then a station wagon. I get to
Nice.
Yes.
Christmas vacation. So we're going to be filling up with supplies. And then a group of 3 of us, we were taking 2 young missionaries who one of them just returned from a mission in LDS mission in Ukraine, and one of them just returned from a LDS mission in Russia. So one of them speaks fluent Russian and one of them speaks
Wow.
conversational Ukrainian. And we're taking them with us, and they're in their 20s. So we'll have one of them in each car so that if we have
Translation.
to talk to anyone.
Good.
And then one group will stay behind in Warsaw and buy the wish list. And we have people down in Kiev that we're working with that are making the wish lists, that what people need, and taking from different places that aren't getting serviced by these, like maybe the Red Cross or whoever's servicing them. They're going to the smaller where people are hiding and getting, what do you need? And they've been sending us these lists, and it's just heartbreaking, like solar lanterns and certainly diapers and formula and
Shampoo
baby bottles
and
and shampoo and hygiene kits, and just the lists are so long, but hammers, and they ask for screwdrivers, and I'm like, well, they're trying to rebuild and just get their lives back wherever they are. And there's lots of people who are in tunnels, and they're what they would be their train stations, and hiding underground while they're still waiting to see if it's okay to
Yeah.
come out. So.
And this is generational trauma.
Oh,
This
yeah.
will last.
So
this is
what this does
scratching
to
the surface.
Ukraine for seriously decades.
Well, we just have to look at the past to see how long generational trauma lives
Right.
from, crazy
Yeah.
leadership in the past.
So hopefully you can. The wonderful thing too about Poland is they learned from it. It just makes me. I just can't have enough respect for Poland and the Polish people, because while we're there, we're going to try to go see Auschwitz and Schindler's factories there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I don't know if I can do it. Like, I don't know if
yeah.
especially after 10 days of doing this every day, like that's supposed to be our last days to go see some of the sites and the museums. And it's just so painful to know what they went through, but they really did take that lesson, and no one's forgotten
you
it.
are their hope.
Oh,
And
you're
I
giving me
hope
way too much credit, but thank
no,
you, dear.
I'm not actually.
But when you think of the
Because
ripple
I'm
effect,
still sitting here. I'm sitting here,
and
and
that's
you're
fine.
going there.
And that's fine. And that's what goes back to what I'm saying. You can serve where you are, not even just the Ukrainian people. You can serve where you are. There are opportunities to serve everywhere. Every day, small acts of kindness, a smile, hello. You don't know how you can change people's day by just simply being kind.
I think that is the most important message, is that choosing to operate from your highest self
There you go.
as much as possible. And that doesn't mean you're getting on the plane,
That's right.
but it does mean that you're supporting those who are. I'm
love it.
I'm just telling you.
She's my hype man.
I'm telling you that is the truth of it.
Yeah.
And if you're in the conversation that is like, well, yeah, but ... then I'm going to say to you, that is not you operating from your highest self.
Right.
Because your highest self would trust in the opportunity that's in front of you and honor the journey that they are on. So I am so impassioned about this, obviously.
I can do
And
it.
if you can if you're hearing something that feels less than love out there from me, then you just get to get over that. I don't know what else to say to you, because it is so
This is
coming
tough
from
love. Tough love. Yep, this
It
is just, I
is.
just want us to
So
all
coming
help
from
each
that
other.
place.
I can only imagine that most people that hear about your story and what your next few days are going to be like have been supportive.
Well,
Oh,
because
people are
I mean,
amazing.
listen,
Yeah.
I know you're going to be in Poland, but that doesn't mean you're safe.
Oh no, I guess yeah.
I mean,
there's
how
always
does your
risk.
husband and your family feel?
My kids, my son asked me, why are you going? No, what are you doing? Why are you doing this?
But they've been used to asking you that.
That's
They-
right.
yeah, as your sons, they probably have been
They-
What do you do?
exposed to
Who are
Where
you going
are you
with?
going?
Why are you doing this? I have great faith so I have a saying that I tell myself, like, faith over fear, faith over fear.
Yes.
That fear is not a place to live that in your life, in the generality, that you really need to move forward if you're going to live your life, you need to conquer fear. That fear is no place to stay. There's a lot you can get bogged down in, and there's a lot of depression and anxiety and a lot of things that are all fear-based. So if you can remember faith over fear, there really is nothing to fear. There isn't.
Or hope, faith in hope, or hope over fear too.
Or love. I mean, in The Alchemist, it talks about love conquering fear. And I really believe that those are the two emotions that tend to be in contradiction with each other.
I just have great faith that
Love
the world is a
and
good
fear.
place. I have faith that mankind is good. I have faith that there will be a tomorrow. I have great faith that most people are great people, and most people want what's best for their families, and most people want what's best for their neighbors. And in the generalities, I have a great faith in humanity as a whole. I think that the world is a wonderful place, and we're lucky to be here.
Yeah.
So my faith, when I say faith, I mean there's nothing to fear here. I have a great faith that this is a wonderful place to be.
And even if that's not true,
It is true.
but even if it weren't, the alternative
Is to be afraid
would
of
be
everything.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just
So-
an easier way to live. That's all I'm
Right.
saying.
I mean,
Yeah.
even if you just knew, I'm going to choose to live my life in the expression of love.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to choose.
And each one of us could die tomorrow, but do you want to be fearing that for the next 10
24
years of
hours,
your
yeah.
life, or do you want to just not fear it, and when it happens,
I'm
it
going to
happens?
choose the expression of love. That's
I
what
love
I'm
it.
going to choose.
I love it. Well, I love your expression of love.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
so,
you.
quick question, April. When you get to Poland, where are you guys staying?
So we booked a little Airbnb and this was really cute. So we have a gal going with us who used to book like the EF tours. She was an EF tour person.
Yep.
So she's used to getting a whole bunch of people into places. And she made sure that our Airbnb was just far enough away from both of the major refugee, what they're calling the camps, so that we weren't taking any rooms away from where refugees might be able
I
to
love
stay.
that.
So we're far enough away because they were mostly getting off a main train station and then being taken to different refugee camps. And the interesting thing is that most of the wealthy people have been able to get out of Ukraine on their own. We're talking about the people who are
Just like the
people.
Russians.
Yeah.
The
it's-
wealthy Russians.
The wealthy Russians all left. So you're mostly talking about the really working class kind of people who didn't have their own, who were dependent on
Except
public
The
transportation.
president,
Our little state.
Zelensky,
Oh,
he's
stayed.
still there.
What if I got to? No, we're not going into Ukraine. I really love that guy, though. I think.
Yeah,
do
what
too.
a
Have a lot of
powerful
respect.
example
Lot of
of
respect for
someone
him.
who leads for the right reason, right?
Yeah, and stayed. And,
Stayed.
and could have stayed. I
Yeah.
mean, could have left at any
Could
time.
have left.
Yeah.
Had multiple offers
Yeah.
from state governments to get him out
Yeah.
and refused to leave his people.
I
I
love
just
it.
have to really honor
that.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I guess that it'll be interesting to see an update up close because there's conflicting reports on how active the Russian military is right now. And they're still certainly able to send missiles in, so that's a problem. But the military on the ground, I think, has waned. They've lost a lot of momentum.
Yeah.
So that's good. We won't be able to see any of that, hopefully, because they've been really careful not
Well,
to come
I
into
hope
Ukraine.
not.
Or
I
come
hope
into
you don't
Poland.
see any of that,
I don't
April.
want to see any of that.
None of
So we
that.
should be
None.
So we should be safe, and we do have a darling little Airbnb, just a tiny little place that has twin beds in every room, 2 twin beds in every room. So super modest, and it was like $35 a night. And we're paying for all of that should be noted. We're all paying for our own travel expenses.
It's like you're going on a trip. You're paying for your own trip.
That's what I love too. So that's what I also want to mention here because I appreciate that there are plenty of opportunities to be scammed around stuff like this. So I appreciate that and I understand that. What I want to say to anybody who's listening to this is not one of those.
right.
So the people that are going on this trip are paying for their own way to get there and their own expenses. Anything you donate through the Venmo, which April's going to give the address again, and we'll have the
Sean is.
scan.
Yeah.
But we'll have her actually verbalize it again. At April-Gates-3.
And you'll
Any
see
of
the-
that
you'll
that
see
you
the
donate
Ukraine
that, is going 100%
That's right.
to purchase supplies and goods and services for those who are in Ukraine, not even to cover their expenses to go.
That's right.
So I want to make sure that everybody knows that. Now, anybody could tell you that. Anybody could. But most of the people that are listening to this, because let's face it, those are the 3 people that know us. So anybody who's listening to this, trust us.
Yep.
Even if we've probably given you plenty of reasons to not trust us. But in this particular instance, we're asking you to trust us and know that you can say, I can't go to Poland. I can't get on the plane tomorrow. It's okay. You can still make a difference in somebody's life by sending it with April.
Yes.
That's why we have her on the call today.
And
you can still make a difference there.
And feel free to make comments on our Facebook
Absolutely.
live
We'd love those comments.
if you have anything to add to what we've been talking about tonight.
Or if you'd like to ask something you'd like to ask.
if you want to ask
Yeah.
April a question as well.
Yeah, where's Scott pulling? Where are you, babe?
He usually is so good.
He was there a minute ago. But
Technical difficulties.
Uh-oh.
That was back in the day.
Oh.
That was back
April's
very
link
early.
is on our Facebook page as well. So if you are able to donate, $5 goes a long way if you're buying in
$5
Poland.
is
Well,
15.
yeah, 15
Yeah.
in Poland.
And so feel free to do that. And I can vouch for April Gates
Thank you, Patty.
That-
We've been friends for a very long time.
that this is going to cost her 7 times as much as
7 times 7
That's right.
times 7.
As much
7
as I
times
raise.
7 as much as she raises because there will be no stone unturned when
Yeah.
she gets to Poland.
Yeah. You said,
probably
so
true.
you leave what day
The
again?
24th. So
What
we'll
day
be
is
there
that?
May
Tuesday.
24th. It's just
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
A week from today?
Yes.
How appropriate is that?
We have 7 days, people.
And you've said you had about $3,000.
We've raised
And
about
I'm
3,000.
committed to doubling that.
She is.
$3,000
Scott,
added
if
to
you're
that.
on here, could you please Venmo April $3,000?
No, I have a week.
Oh, yeah.
So
So
that
that means 2,800 from the Polands. Or whatever my trusted friends on here,
Yes.
the one that I have on here.
Wait.
We have more friends than that.
Yeah, exactly. I'm committed to making sure that our friends on here will trust us enough to support you in that process.
Yeah, I promise. I promise it will all go to a great cause, and we will find the people, and we will post about it. So my I'm on Facebook that we'll probably be putting most of this up, and we've already the one guy who started this for us is already over there, and he's already sent us pictures, and it's
Could
when
we
you get back, I
post
would
any
love
of those on our Facebook as
Absolutely,
well?
yeah.
And would you be willing to come back
visit
afterwards
with
and
us.
visit
So
and let us know what went
I
down?
would love to come back and do an update, and then I promised you I'd come and talk to you about doing a refresh of your front curb appeal. Kim Michelle, remember we were going to do a outside staging
Yeah.
Yes.
podcast. So
Because we did an inside staging our home, getting ready to sell.
We're doing.
now
We're
we're-
working on our front yard right now too. On
Yeah.
our front yard staging.
there you go.
Yeah.
But to keep.
To keep.
Wait till you see my backyard, April. So we're going to do a little...
Look at us shifting.
I
gears.
know. None of this matters really. Because I
Really?
have a backyard.
Yeah, I have a
and
yard.
Yeah,
And
so...
it's not being
I,
bombed.
I was just saying I'll come back, and then we'll do an
Yes.
update, and we'll do this other
That'd be
because we
awesome.
told people about it.
A couple other exciting things that is happening in April's life. Do you mind? You don't
Do I
know.
mind? She
You don't
doesn't.
know.
She's-
Do you mind?
I don't.
You don't know what you're
I
gonna
don't know
mind.
what I mind.
You don't. So her sons own a business right now called
Zion Off-Road.
Zion Off-Road. They're a new business, and they're building individual trailers,
Tiny homes.
tiny
Off-road-
trailers,
tiny
off-road
Off-road
trailers
trailers, yeah.
that are amazing, and they have a new patent. They have a design that can't be found anywhere else, and
The-
they're going to
They are the only modular off-road trailers, meaning you can start with a base model that comes super cheap, like right around 10 grand, and then you can add any accessories that you want over time.
Really?
So most
over
people-
time.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So you could get your husband the rack for his kayaks at a later date, or the
spare
propane-
tire
Or
rack.
his electric
or-
bikes
or the
that
pro- yeah.
you can be hit by a car.
I was just going to
or the
also
propane
mention that.
tanks. Thank
Oh
you.
my
Yeah.
gosh.
So they're at Zion Off-Road on Instagram. They have a great little Instagram.
It's so fun.
And yes, they leave tomorrow. Is tomorrow Wednesday?
Uh-huh.
They leave tomorrow for the Flagstaff Off-Road big expo
Yeah.
with their
Yes.
boys.
with their trailer. So they both quit their jobs. They're doing this full time. They have a
Wow.
big shop in St. George. And
Yeah.
so check
Those
out Zion Off-Road
boys.
if you like
Right.
off-road utility
Your
vehicles.
boys.
Right. They're great boys.
really
But I
cool.
do want to
We
shout
love
out
that.
a little bit to Kim Michelle's off-roading recently. And as Kim Michelle was talking about, we can't live in fear.
Right.
She chose to not live in fear on
Right.
Mother's Day and take her bike
Yeah.
off the regular bike trail.
Bike path, which I only ride on a bike path, like a for real bike path, not the road,
The bike
not the
path.
little bike path like this that's on a regular road, but like
The
for real
recreational city bike
off a
bike
city,
path.
like that cars drive on. No,
So for 5 minutes, she was on the
5 minutes,
road,
2 blocks,
got hit by a car on
got
Mother's
hit
Day.
by a car on my bike
on
yeah.
Mother's Day.
Your
on Mother's Day.
You should
A week
see
and a half
the gnarly
ago.
bruise. It's like
I've
the
got
trophy
some
injury.
incredible bruises. They're like rock star. kind
Yeah.
of
However,
bruises.
she survived because she's
yeah,
a survivor.
look at me because I'm a survivor.
I'm a survivor.
Mhm. And if you want to donate to me, go to April Gates
Yes.
and make a donation
Yes.
to my well-being.
And look to
Yes.
look for the
I'm
Yukon
glad you're
heart.
okay. That's scary.
Oh
It
my
was-
gosh.
It could have
It was
been
terrifying. It
Absolutely.
it was. And then I got COVID
She got
after.
COVID.
So it's just been, I mean, it has
So
been.
please donate to Kim Michelle,
Michelle.
at April Gates
at
-3.
April Gates -3.
That's rough.
Oh.
That's where you can
sorry.
send all your donations.
I'm so sorry, my friend.
I
And
know.
then I would also like to shout out to our good friend Jill here, who has
Love
been
her so much.
gone for
Donated
2
April Gates -3.
months. She was gone for 2 months taking care of her brother, and then came home for 2.5 weeks and had rotator cuff surgery on her right
Which I'll
shoulder.
be having now after my little bike accident.
And this is why I'm sitting very far away from them.
Look how far away she is.
Yeah.
She's totally over there.
Yeah.
2022 is a
And-
do-over.
And having a little, you're having your
big-
shower.
Big
Oh,
for
wedding.
your
we have
daughter.
a bridal shower
Yes.
for Abby. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and we
This
got a new
weekend.
dog. And we got a
And
new
you
dog.
got a new dog.
Because our sweet dog.
Your sweet dog passed.
So within all that time,
very soon after our
brother,
sweet dog
dog
passed.
passed, shoulder hit by a car.
It's been
2022 do-over, except for I don't want to do any of it over.
no, but we can all make a difference in the world.
And
how
live
can we do that?
Not in
We
fear.
can
By making a donation to April-Gates-3.
You guys are awesome. These are my hype men, man. This is awesome. Thank you.
love
April. I'm
We
gonna
love
be
April,
like you when I
and
grow
April
up.
serves constantly. So this
Everywhere
is
she goes.
no surprise that she chose Poland over Belize.
That's right.
That is a fact.
Here's what we absolutely know. Here's the last thing I'm going to say about this. Probably not.
Probably
but
not.
It might be close to the last thing I say about it.
Should I
is that,
sing you out?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
When you, regardless of what anybody else would say, when you choose into grace and compassion and love, and you choose to act from that place, the world will conspire with you to bring more compassion and grace
Grace
into
and
your
love.
life.
Unless Jill sings.
Well, I'm going to choose this as love and grace. It's a stretch, but I'm
Well,
still going to choose it.
All I know is I'm
I love
grateful
you.
that we have April here again today, and that we were able to
Grateful.
I
talk about
haven't
this journal.
seen. We haven't been together for a long time. Oh my gosh, it just fills my heart so much.
Oh, the
I'm
meds
so
have not
thankful.
worn off.
Touch
I'm so. I'm touching you, girl. I'm
Take me
so
to a
happy.
higher
Thank
place.
you, everyone.
Thanks for having me.
And you
Jill is
can
back.
Cut us
you
off,
can
Sean.
donate
Sean.
all the way through. Podcast, a great day to talk. Love you. Bye.
See me microphones.
now. No, you know that you can see me how.
Thanks for listening to It's a Great Day to Talk. Be sure to follow and subscribe to us on your favorite podcast platform.
And until next week,
Get out there and talk.
This has been a production from a podcast studio.